Hello. Hopefully you can hear me. This is our sound check. As I lean into the camera, I didn't try to find something I could prop this on. Went ahead with just a lower, wider angle. All right, there's a delay. Hopefully you can hear me. I just saw two people drop, and nobody has said, come on. There we go, loud and clear. Thank you, Colette. All right. Thank you, Bob. All right. I am staying at my friend's cabin. Thank you, Johnny. Good to see you on this fine late Norwegian evening. Yeah, uh, I'm at like I think 8,000 something feet, which I can't do in metric. I don't know, maybe it's 3,200 feet in metric, something like that. But it is like 25 degrees cooler than it is in Tucson where I live. And I've been up here sort of hunkered down in my friend's cabin, enjoying the coolness and the forest around. If you're following me on Instagram, you've seen lots and lots of my pictures. So yeah, it's been a super, super delight. So I decided I would do this out here. We will get a mix of birds making lovely bird noises and also screeching. And then there's a road right here. Actually, you can see the road, I think, right behind me, maybe. Yeah, you can see the road right behind me. And people are kind of coming and going. There's a trailhead up the way. So, so yeah. And I'm seeing everybody checking in. Hey, Fred. And Paul, bonjour. Hello, Bill J. Saban. Did I say hi to Bob? I said hi to Bob, hopefully. Hello, Bob. And Bill B., how are you doing? Thank you for the sound check again, Colette. And hello, Moira. And Sheila, cool that you made it. So you were the early bird today. Okay. And then Ronnie, welcome. Really appreciate you being here. Let's see, who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? Okay. Well, if I did, it was before I saw the chat history start. So no, I'm not in Pinos Altos. That would be outside of Silver City. So I'm on Mount Lemon. Mount Lemon is about an hour and something, hour and 16 or hour and 18 from, hey, hello, Cheryl and Gabrielle. It's about an hour and 18 minutes from Tucson. And yeah, so it's if you've been in Tucson, it's it's part of the mountain ridge to the north, like kind of the north and the east. So yeah, and it's a super delight when you can go and it's 105, and you can come up here and it's 81. So super big time difference. So let's see, I guess there's a Mary Oliver. There's a Mary Oliver documentary out, and it's at the Independent Movie Theater here in Tucson, the Loft, and I've been meaning to see it. But yeah. So there's a quote I grabbed from some social media thing I saw that was my little tagline today, which is to pay attention. This is to pay attention. This is our endless and proper work. So I grabbed that and threw it in my journal. And I wanted to, that's part of the theme. And then the other thing here is I love doing Hear Out when I'm out in the forest, because there's always that, like right now, you can hear the wind, the breeze blowing through the trees. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that the pleasant sounds from my environment will come into your environment. And if the screeching bird that I have not yet to identify with Merlin appears, that's probably not the most pleasant sound, but think of it as the leaf blower of birds. So we'll do this as an experiment, and we'll see. Who knows? It could be super pleasant, and it could be somewhat annoying. Um, we never know. But I like this idea that paying attention is sort of the proper work. So, all right. I am going to steal a bell from, oh, a little bit early, but I'm going to steal a bell. And we'll kind of get a rolling start going here. All right. So our technique today is hear out. We can think of that as sounds. And then it helps if we begin a little bit with what is our focus range, and our focus range will be sounds. So anything that's outside of the focus range, anything that's outside of the focus range can allow it to come up and be there, but just to see if we can continue to be with sounds. And then our instructions are to notice where our attention is. And if our concentration is on a sound, we soak our attention into the bird call. Optionally label here. And then kind of wait for the next place that our attention lands and concentrates. And if I get pulled away by itches or mental talk, then I can gracefully notice that and bring my attention back to the sounds around me. So that's our technique. And then let's just begin. I sort of started with technique in a rolling start, but seeing if you can establish your posture that allow you to be comfortable, maybe feel a little more supported. So I'll focus on the seated posture as I'm seated in a chair, or you could be sitting on a cushion or kneeling or sitting on a bench. And if you're standing, lying down, or walking, I'll trust that you can apply this technique in any of those postures. So in our seated posture, we're looking to be upright without being uptight, shoulders over the hips, feet arranged comfortably on the floor. If you're on a chair, maybe palms facing down on the thighs. And then you may be sort of at the end of a busy day or in the middle of a busy day. So you could have arrived sort of hurtling into this practice, just seeing if you can catch a little bit of the stillness. And while doing that, take a quick sample of what's the inner weather like. Sunny, partly cloudy, overcast. And then finally, a few deliberate breaths. Slow and low is the tempo we're going for. Breathing in through the nose allows us to slow the breath down, sinking low into the belly. And just seeing if we can pour all of our concentration into that. And so I gave a little bit of guidance around the technique. Again, hear out. So I'll let you explore on your own. Just a reminder, this is a common issue for me that when I'm doing hear out and I'm labeling, I often will run into situations where my internal label seems to stir up hear in or mental talk. And so when that's occurring for me, I'll go ahead and drop the labels. So the labels are optional. And you can think of it as when we're noting what we're concentrating on, that there's a naturalness to the noting. And the label is a supportive way of kind of spotting the attention, holding it there just briefly. So if you're experiencing that, you can always drop the label if you want. And then just a reminder to kind of check in with your posture. If your eyes were open, you might have noticed that I just leaned back. I realized I was leaning forward. So just seeing if your spine is upright, checking in to see if you haven't listed over to one side or the other, and then resuming the technique. And this is your opportunity to place our technique off to the side with care and to shift over into do nothing. And with do nothing, we're sitting and knowing that we're sitting. And that knowing is a sort of natural thing, just like when we drop our label and we can notice what we're concentrating on, that knowing that we're sitting, and seeing if we can do that with zero agenda. So see if you can relax into do nothing. And I'll invite a digital bell to signal the end of our sit. Thank you for your practice. We'll dedicate the merit. May the fruits of our practice be for the benefit of all beings. May our actions be for the benefit of all beings. So, you are super welcome. You're super welcome, Ruth and Colette, Gabrielle. Always fantastic to have you here. Thank you, Johnny. Hopefully, you can get to sleep. And you are welcome. You're welcome, Moira and Saban. All right. I'm so glad you made it, Ruth, even if it wasn't when you had hoped. And hello to Scalane. Oh, wow. Best ever. Interesting. Well, that's great, Bill. Bill B. You're super welcome, Cheryl, and Ronnie, of course. So, yeah. Um, I think I had said at one point that I had been doing this sort of short-term contract at the University of Arizona. That contract was successful, and it's done, and that's part of why I'm up here trying to unplug a bit. So, and I love a good digital appreciation thumbs up. So good. I was curious, Skillian, how much the birds came through. The screeching bird was not here, so they must have moved on after this morning. The screeching bird was interrupting my coffee enjoyment, or I should say, I was having a hard time enjoying what the screeching bird was offering me. So it was more on me than anything else. The screeching bird was just being itself. So I shouldn't shame the screeching bird. Um, but every time I tried to Merlin ID it, it stopped, and then it would come back, and then I would try to ID it, and then it would stop. So um, so yeah, the this area, and then there's to the south area called Madera Canyon is a favorite area for birders throughout the season when there's birds in the area pit stopping wherever they're headed to in their migrations. So um, let's see. Thanks for a bunch of people sent me messages after last Wednesday with my sort of talking about my 15-year anniversary celebration for my jump starting of meditation through my ER visit 15 years ago. I did manage to confuse some people on social media because they thought I was uh, at the ER. um, but oh, okay. So, is there a reason to be upright? A question from Scalane. So the uprightness of the spine, signals. It is said that it signals the reticulate activating system, which is also shortened to RAS. And the RAS is one of the systems in the brain that contributes to the attentiveness or the wakefulness of consciousness. So you'll hear sometimes when I first started meditating, I was like, who cares if I'm slumped over or not? Or like, I want to lean against stuff. And so the uprightness of the spine, and again, we don't want to be too uptight because we can't hold that because then there's too much efforting. So Jeff will often talk about the center line of like being able to kind of allow the center line to just be in that balanced position, and then everything kind of being resting off of the center line. So the RAS is the That's the Shinzen Young answer for why you want to look for the uprightness. The other notion is that in Soto Zen Buddhism, which is what I am a practitioner of, but not authorized to teach, but I can share this colloquially. Um, the notion when you sit in meditation, the posture that is prescribed is on purpose because of um, they had found as practitioners that that posture was what fostered a wakefulness or alertness. So we can think about the basic meditative state is where we overlap. If this is relaxation and this is alertness, where those two things overlap is the basic meditative state. And so when we can have that sort of Venn diagram, which I can't quite do right with my hands. But if we get that Venn diagram, then we get that the balanced state is what you'll hear some teachers refer to as meditation is the balanced state. So it's not too wakeful, not too relaxed. If we're too relaxed, then we start to doze off, which is what you had mentioned. You know, the notion of not falling asleep, and then if we're too alert, then we have that, you know, kind of a driven quality. So the posture is the enlightenment. Yes. Very well said, Johnny. So, but yeah, so that's the rationale. I don't have a good answer for why feet flat on the ground, but feet flat on the ground is what is given. When I was in my meditation teacher training for the Open Heart Project, I'd asked about that and I didn't get a good answer. So yeah, so practicing enlightenment. So in Soto Zen, Ehe Dogen or Dogen Zenji, as he's referred to, and Zenji is like the like high honorific title. Uh, he would use the conjunction of the term practice, and enlightenment. So it'd be practice enlightenment or practice slash enlightenment. And so I really loved the Dogen. The Dogen would say practice enlightenment like as though they were like two, like they were the same thing, like mind body can't be separate. So now the slouching thing, I think that everybody knows their body and they can find a position that helps them to be relaxed. That's why I wanted to offer the relaxed alert, because that gives you a balance of. So Jeff will say that Jeff Warren will say that you are a lineage. Your nervous system is a lineage of one, and that is partly in line with his notion of becoming your own teacher. And becoming your own teacher is really tailoring all of the meditation wisdom out there to what works for you, which in the rooms in AA would be take what works, leave what doesn't, would be another way of saying that. Um, and so you'll see that different traditions, TM in particular, they're not really too worried about your posture. So it's more this notion of being able to be comfortable. So that comfortable will give you the relaxed part, and then your breathing and your focus give you the alert part. So I think that gives you this. So um, if your lineage is lazy, it might not be a lineage of one, though, right? There may be more people in that than just one. So maybe you'll have company. But yeah, so when I first started, I was sort of resistant to this idea that like the posture really mattered. And so I was kind of like, I don't know, like it bugged me. And then I got good answers. So I want to share those answers. And then was there another Saban? I'm not sure. It says grounding maybe. Oh, for the feet. Yeah, maybe. I think part of it is you'll hear coaches. This was not just Jeff, but coaches are, I would just say, as a whole, the notion is just seeing if you can get still. Now, that instruction or that cue doesn't work for everybody. So the notion is also that you can be meditative in your movement. So qigong is a great example of this. Yoga is a great example of this. Stretching is a great example. But the feet position, the best answer that I have gotten for why you want your feet flat is that it allows you to maintain stillness for longer. So if your feet are flat, if you change the angle of your feet, you change the pressure points of your feet, and then you're more likely to fidget your feet around, which again, not a problem. Um, but if your feet are flat, then they're more likely to be in a position where you're not going to move, or you're not going to feel the need to move around as much. Now, you could have restless leg syndrome. It doesn't matter how you put your feet, you're going to want to move them. So, but yeah, super good questions, and yeah, that was fun. Okay, we'll be here next week. I will. Well, I'm going to be traveling, but I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be in Bloomington, Indiana. I'm going to do my best to. I'm going to have to figure that out. I think in Indiana, Bloomington is on Eastern, so I think I can swing it. But so anyway, I will attempt. There's a small possibility that there won't be a meditation next week. I just realized that because I was just about to tell you I'll see you next week, and maybe I won't. So, but yeah, so I will see if I can figure that out. And maybe I will step away and meditate from somewhere alongside of where the technical meetings I'm going to are going to be. So there's that, and then another prep for in 11 days on the 16th. I'll be guest guiding for Jeff, because Jeff and Joe and others will all be at Omega. So yeah, that's a good point, Paul. Maybe I should see if I can get a sub. And then yeah, see, Brooke's just starting school, but maybe okay. Yeah, I will. Yeah, thank you. There's a t-shirt company. I have no association with them other than I love their t-shirts, called Once Upon a Tea, uh, as in like once upon a time, but once upon a tea, and they're up in the Phoenix area. Um, so oh yeah, there's a Shinzen retreat on the 12th. You're right. It's a non-dual. It's the non-duality. I think it's like non-duality is love, or love is non-duality, and it's with and why can't I think of her name? Juliana Ray. So and then Brooke and yeah, Juliana Ray is the head teacher of all of UM, so it's kind of embarrassing that I paused for a moment and didn't know her name immediately. But sometimes the brain is not the magic Rolodex that we'd like it to be. But yeah, so oh, that's right, Ralph and Chris, they are helping out for that. Awesome, that's super great, and that's the 12th. Okay, yeah, the 12th. I think you can find that at unifiedmindfulness.com, I think is where I saw one of the postings for that. And then Ralph and Brooke are tomorrow. So Ralph is at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. And then Brooke is at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. And then you have to find a way to get Ralph a website, but Brooke has a website, and it's brookemeditates.com. So that's up for tomorrow. And then I think that's everything. Yeah. I don't have anything else to add other than I keep delaying the Zoom gratitude thing. And that's partly because I was going to be up here and then would be on the road, so to speak, in Indiana next week. So I haven't forgotten that. I know folks have showed interest in that. And so we only ultimately need like 3 or 4 people. So I think that would be a super fun little practice opportunity kind of a thing to do. And we'll check that out. And In preparation for the 16th, I'm going to be trying to mess around with my Substack a little bit. So yeah. And yeah, have a great, well, if you're in Australia, have a great rest of your Thursday. And if you're in North America or South America, have a great rest of your day. And I will see you soon. Madera Canyon has screech owls. Okay, maybe that's what I was hearing. Yeah, there's also burrowing owls around that area too. Bye. Thanks, everybody.